Hello, everybody. This is the Chocolate News Podcast. I'm your co-host, John Alexander Reese.
And I'm your co-host, Andria Carter.
And if you did not know, the Cincinnati Herald has been around since 1955 and is the leading African-American owned newspaper in the greater Cincinnati area and Northern Kentucky area. How's it going, Andrea?
It's going great, John. It's fall. It's getting cool. It's trying to decide whether it's going to be cool, it's going to be warm, but that's okay. Because, it's great, energetic weather. And there's a lot going on right now in the area that it's hard to keep up. It's just hard to keep up.
Oh, yeah, most
But
definitely.
but there's a lot of historical things going on that I want to mention. First, I want to do a shout out to April Ryan. Many people may not know who April Ryan is, but she has been the White House correspondent for a number of organizations over the year. She's been the White House correspondent for I think it was either CNN. No, it wasn't CNN. It was for another entity. She's been for NPA, the GRIO. She's now the White House correspondent for the GRIO and a couple of other places. And she wrote a book. She's very prominent. She was the Black woman who would question a lot of the press personnel during Donald Trump's administration. And so she got famous that way. And she got married over the weekend. So I just wanted to say congratulations to her and her guy. If you go on her Instagram page, you'll see a lot of the video from her wedding reception. She wore a beautiful, I think it was like a light rose-colored gown and everything. So I'm very happy for her. And that just means you can find love at any age. So that's the reason why I'm congratulating her, knock on wood. Anyway, I wanted to let everybody know about another real quick. There is a documentary that's coming out on Disney in February from the National Geographic documentaries on the Black astronauts, and explores 60 years of history of Black astronauts in the space race. And it looks really wonderful. The trailers are out now, so I recommend everyone taking a look at that. It's another viewpoint of the Hidden Figures-esque information about NASA, but from a different perspective, from the military perspective of people becoming astronauts. And then finally, I want to do a shout out to Serena Williams, who has she's going to receive an award from the Council of Fashion Designers of America, CFDA, as the first Black woman to be named as a trailblazer in athletic fashion. And they're going to host an award ceremony in November at the American Museum of Natural History, hosted by Cincinnati's own Sarah Jessica Parker, who is the fashion icon from Sex and the City. And we just want to congratulate Serena on another first that she has achieved. So congratulations to all of them. Yay.
Yeah.
And also yay to the Bengals, are now 3-3. Good job. But most importantly, let's get to today's news. Start off with Ohio's, well, I'll put it like this, Northern Ohio's congressman, Jim Jordan, just went through the second round of voting to become House Speaker, and he lost big. The vote this time was 199 to 219. Hakeem Jeffries received the majority of the vote, but not enough to become Speaker. You need 217. Or no, you need 219 to become Speaker. And Hakeem Jeffries got 212, which is the entire Democratic caucus. But 12 Republicans are not supporting Jordan because he is a risk, and they can't explain them supporting him to their constituents when they have to go back and face re-election, because he's so chaotic and causes a lot of rancor. And he's not a proven leader. He's not pushed any legislation. He's not presented any legislation. He's just presented chaos. So there's that, but we keep reading. He's going to keep trying to get it. But in the meantime, I think what the House is going to probably do is try to make Congressman Patrick Henry, the interim speaker for now, so they can get some things going and make the government work again, because they have not been able to do anything for 15 days. And shame on the Republicans for not being able to pull this together, because they're the ones who wanted to be leaders. They wanted to govern, and they can't get their act together. So there's that. Next up, we have Vice Mayor Jan Michelle Kearney, who is looking for solutions for everyone's been hearing about the street takeovers that's occurring in the city of Cincinnati. It's kind of like remember the flash mobs that used to occur from Twitter. You would get a
Yeah.
message on Twitter, and then everyone would show up in the space and do whatever, a dance move or sing or whatever,
Yeah.
or play a violin. Well, now it's street takeover, where people in cars show up, block the traffic, and someone is burning rubber, doing donuts in the middle of the street, and then taking off. And so, it's just flash mobbing to an nth level. But they're looking for solutions. The vice mayor is looking for solutions to stop it. And I think that, when it happens, hopefully someone will report it and they'll get there faster and stop the whole thing. So that's going to be interesting to see how they stop this. So there's that. Then let's congratulate. I forgot about this. I want to congratulate Claudia Gay. Now, a lot of people don't know who she is, but they know the organization that she works for. She works for Harvard University, and she is the first Black president of Harvard University. Now, remember, Harvard was founded in 1640 in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and she is their first Black president. Not
That's
Black woman
amazing.
president, Black president, which is outstanding. In her address to accept the position, she said she's very humble at the prospect of leading Harvard. She's very emboldened by the trust and energy that they have placed in her. Even though Harvard has come under scrutiny like other colleges regarding the students' beliefs regarding the Israel-Palestinian conflict, the donors are coming under fire for removing their donations. Students are under fire for their beliefs. So she is not getting too much of a honeymoon period being president of Harvard, but congratulations anyway. And I hope you last a long time. Then, speaking of students, and this is kind of sad, the Federal Crown Act prevents people from suspending or taking action against people because they have hair that's different from the majority community. Well, on August 31st, Daryl George, a junior at Barbers High School in Mont Belvieu, Texas, was suspended from high school because he had dreadlocks in his hair, I believe. And they suspended him and put him in an alternative program because of his hair. And according to the federal government, you're not supposed to take offensive action against somebody because their hair is different.
Yeah.
So basically, according to the Barbary Hills Independent School District, the handbook stipulates that male students are prohibited from having hair extending below the eyebrows, earlobes, or the top of the T collar. Also, it mandates that the student's hair must be clean, well-groomed, geometrical, and not an unnatural color or variation. And, basically, that almost sounds military style. And, Daryl had dreadlocks, which does not, in certain people's, does not fit the hairstyles that they're used to. And African Americans, we do our hair textured hair, afros, braids, dreadlocks, twists, bantu knots. Our hairstyles are federally protected, and they do this. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen. So we hope that he gets back into school and he moves forward no matter what his hair looks like.
I just think it's so silly that people are even like debating this and forcing this. I mean, hair is hair, but I don't know. It's just all silly. It really is. Just let the boy come. Just let the boy wear he wants to wear. Oh my goodness.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like when you want control, but you
Yeah.
want control your way, not their way. This is what happens.
Yeah.
And again, it is Texas. Texas is special. They have their own idea of what people should look like.
Yeah.
So we just have to move forward, and hopefully they will find a way to resolve the situation. Two things, then that'll be the end of chocolate news. One, we need to stop and remember Rudolph Isley. of the Isley brothers.
Yeah.
He just passed, unfortunately. He was 84 when he died. Mm, 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 mm. If anybody knows the Isley brothers, the original king of strut, so to speak,
King of Strut.
king of strut, king of wearing, having interesting wardrobe and being, I can't say funky because they weren't really funky, but they knew how to groove, they knew how to schmooze, they knew how to woo. Let's put it like that, if I could say that. But they were a very popular soul group, and they knew how to just bring people together and enjoy the music and groove. And unfortunately, um, Rudolph died, and I'm sorry to see this, but we don't know what his cause of death was. But unfortunately, a popular member of the soul group has died. But that being said, my final piece of chocolate news today is I want to say congratulations to Tennessee State University and Howard University for being named to the Billboard's, how do I put this? The Billboard's ranking of schools that are high level, that give out outstanding degrees for music, for business, for educating people on business in the music industry. And Howard University and Tennessee State have achieved this distinct. They're the only two HBCUs that have achieved this. The Warner Music Blavatnik Center for Music Business in 2021 made it possible for these fellowship programs for people to learn the music business. And these two schools have the most outstanding programs up there, mind you, with the Berklee School of Music, the Abbey Road Institute in London, and the Berklee College of Music in Boston and Spain, and Liverpool Institute for Performing Arts in Liverpool, England. They are the only two HBCU schools to achieve that distinction, along with these other European schools, for teaching the music business and offering music business degrees. So congratulations on that. It's something to look forward to. And yes, you can enjoy music and make money at the same time. And that is my chocolate news for today.
All right. Well, thank you, Andrea, for all the fascinating chocolate news. And now let's move on to our main topic. We actually have a special guest with us today. I haven't had one of those in a while, but we have David Choate with us from Revolution Dance. So how's it going, David?
Pretty good. Hi, John. Hi, Andrea. I'm glad I listened in for all that. I learned a lot myself during this segment. My goodness, there's so much.
Oh, well, we tried to pack what everyone else doesn't cover. And
You did a really good job. That's a lot of
thank,
information and not a lot
thank
of time.
yeah, I mean, we don't have everything up on our website, but we try to make sure that everyone is aware of what everyone is doing in the business, especially, with certain people who are making inroads in different ways. Like you're making inroads in Cincinnati with Revolution Dance Theater.
Revolution Dance Theater, yes. Really, really proud of it.
Are you the only Black dance group in the city, or the second?
So not group, but as far as company, a professional ensemble of dancers, doing a full season, the first and only, not just really in Cincinnati, but when it comes to being a ballet company, currently in the region as well. So we're really proud of that. I'm really proud of what we're building, which is just insane to me. This all just came from just teaching people how to dance, and I started doing performances with really kids even. And the whole thought was because we weren't seeing people who look like us, or I specifically. I couldn't go to a performance here in Cincinnati if we weren't bringing in like a dance theater of Harlem or something like that, and see females, Black females on point and doing classical work. It's just something that I noticed, man, it's been a while since I've seen that here in Cincinnati, unless it was a guest. And then that's when we found out it had actually been 16 years since our own ballet company here had even hired a single African-American woman. And that's when I realized I have to do more than just teach dance, but we want to come into that space and we want to provide people entertainment and tell our own stories and, create these sort of really employment opportunities that would come with actually forming a professional dance company.
Okay, because I know Cincinnati Ballet, they have had a lot of international people of color come and dance with them, and it's been rare here and there that more Black males than Black women have
Correct. Yeah.
been with them.
Specifically Black women that have been, and yeah, it was over, it was into the 16th year that we, finally contracted someone and said, hey, we want you to be here to help us build this thing. And then going into that 17th year is when Lene got the contract to come to Cincinnati Ballet, which is fabulous. Like Lene is amazing, amazing dancer. But it just took so long, way too long, for our girls to have somebody that they could look up to and have somebody that looks like them.
I mean, because very easily you could go to Chicago or New York or DC,
Yeah.
even as close as Indianapolis.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Nashville. Oh my God, the women in their ballet company, particularly the Black women. I know myself and several other friends, some that we would travel just to see Black women perform. We would take our academy kids to Ballet Met, which is in Columbus. And they have some very wonderful dancers up there. And, we'd make an hour and a half trip to 2 hour trip. Again, just so the things that we're teaching our girls in class, they would have someone that they could look up to and go, oh, yeah, that's what that looks like. That's what that's supposed to be. But if those are things that I had to do, and I love dance as much as I do, then it made me think, what's the rest of the audience here in Cincinnati doing? I don't think that everybody's traveling to Nashville or traveling to Columbus to see this. We definitely had a need that we wanted to fill right here in the city, and we're glad to do that.
Well, I'm glad you're here. And what can we expect going forward? What can we expect to see with the Revolutionary Dance Theater for
I
this
think you
season?
should expect the unexpected. We got our name because we want to do what our name implies. We want to use theater and dance to change the world. So I know for as long as I am artistic director of this company, my goal is to not just become another dance company. In addition to filling that need that we were just talking about right here in Cincinnati. When it comes to running any business, we know that the only way you're going to be successful is to solve problems and to be necessary in your community. And so I want this theater and dance company to spark a revolution. I want this theater and dance company to literally do work that changes not just the ballet industry, but changes what people think about the idea of Blackness. We have launched together with my second company, David Choate Productions, with support from the Ohio Arts Council and the Black Empowerment Works program through the United Way of Greater Cincinnati. We just got funding to launch an entire social campaign where again, you think of it just a ballet company. The focus of the work is just pretty much what you might do in the studio and what you do on stage. But what we've been able to do with dance in terms of raising that level of representation, creating jobs, inspiring this idea of what Black people, Black women, Black men can do. We want to spread that across different sectors. And so we've just introduced Color My World, which is a new social campaign that people will start seeing around Cincinnati that just really inspires the idea of more Black. We're putting more Black ballerinas on stage where they weren't before. We want to see more Black people in the C-suite. We want to see more Black people, behind the desk. We want to see more Black individuals in areas that still stereotypically and statistically, our people just are not. So that's just one example of things that, again, you might not expect a dance company to get involved with, but that's the real charter behind our work. We want to really create a world that is more diverse and more inclusive, and we can use ballet to do that.
So when can someone see all this wonderful work this season?
Absolutely. So the cool thing about all of the additional things that we do is that there's ways to engage with it, either at revodance.com, on any of our social channels. You just follow us at Revolution Dance Theater, all one word. Theater is spelled R-E. Little known fact, when you spell theater E-R, that just refers to the building, but theater R-E refers to the craft. So Revolution Dance Theater is our Instagram and our Facebook. And we also, I believe it's still at Revolution Dance Theater, our RDT Cincinnati. You should be able to find us on YouTube. So we have lots of digital content out there for people to see the dancers, get to know us, and get familiar with our work. That social campaign just launched last week, but by the time people are listening to this podcast, hopefully more and more people will start to see Color My World or the Dream Project pop up in different places and spaces. But of course, people want to see us perform. So the first Revolution Dance Theater company performance is actually right in line with this podcast. Hot Chocolate, actually, which is our professional take on the traditional Nutcracker. So again, the only African American Nutcracker experience, from a Cincinnati company. So we're super excited about that. That's going to be at the Aronoff Center, playing from December 1st through December 9th. And that's where you're going to get a chance to see the very best of who Revolution Dance Theater is. It's in its third year. It's got a couple of new surprises. Of course, you're going to see the growth of our own company dancers, as this is their first main stage performance back since the season started. And you're going to see some special guests. And I'm really proud of the Academy kids that you get to see and the community members that you get to see. Hot Chocolate is super special. So we hope to see everybody there at the Aronoff Center those first 2 weekends in December.
Well, I'm looking forward because I heard about it last year, and I think it was sold out last year.
It was sold out last year, and we're really encouraging people to get their tickets early because it was actually by the end of October last year that the show sold out. So everyone who's like, oh, it was just a Christmas show and I'll wait till December. People started thinking about tickets like mid-November and they were already gone. So we're definitely trying to spread the word to people that if you're interested, definitely make sure that you sign up to get tickets.
Okay, so we need to get tickets now.
We need to get tickets now. We've got group sales calling, so
okay, so I'm gonna
which is so exciting. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to put a bug in my friend's ear and be like, if we want to go together, we got to get our tickets now because I know.
Yes, that's the other thing. Making sure you can sit with your people, very important.
Well, David, I thank you for coming on and giving us the heads up about Revolution Dance Theater and also about the upcoming season and
absolutely.
And I'm looking forward to it myself. So because I've always heard about Debbie Allen's version of her take on the Nutcracker. So is this something similar to what she has done?
So I will tell you this, I have seen bits and pieces, but I have purposely never watched Debbie Allen's full Hot Chocolate. As to not be influenced by it. When I arrived on that name, I still hadn't seen any of Debbie Allen's Hot Chocolate. And so I really wanted to make sure that we were creating an original story that as much as we were trying not to be the Nutcracker, that people didn't think that we were trying to, rip off of her idea or, anything there. So this is, a completely new experience. It's original writing, original music, obviously brand new choreography, set design. So you're really getting the best of Cincinnati in this particular production.
Excellent. I can't wait to see it. So thank you so very much, John.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And the show does sound awesome. I might have to get myself some tickets, but I gotta hurry because they're gonna be sold out
Yes,
soon.
please. We would love to have you guys.
And that's it for today's show. And folks, you can find out more about today's topics and past podcast episodes at www.thecincinnatiherald.com, the Sesh newsletter, or on our social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Threads. And make sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast app. Our podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, Amazon, YouTube, and Google Podcasts. In addition, the Cincinnati Herald is now accepting applications for an advertising representative. So please call or text our publisher, Walter White, at 513-680-7076 for more information. I'm John Alexander Reese.
And I'm Andria Carter.
And have a good day.